All right. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of NH3 Tech Talk. I'm your host, Justin Little, and we're here again, folks, to talk about ammonia refrigeration. This episode is going to be titled, Let's Go to Work. Because I think on the first episode, I covered a lot of the things that, you have to think about before you got your job or you got your job. And I gave you some things to think about going forward in this job. And now you've gone through a little bit more of the process. And now it's time to go to work. Okay? All the excitement, all the anticipation, all the everything has led up to this. Now, if you listen to the first episode, you're going to know that you should have contacted your journeyman the day before. And you showed up early with your shirt tucked in and your face shaven. I'm assuming you've been fitted for a respirator mask and you've done any and all type of like fitness testing and certifications and stuff like that, like a fall protection harness and scissor lift or man lift certifications, forklift certifications. All these things are things that you need to have to be a service tech because you got to be ready for whatever when the duty calls, Yeah, so, yeah, you're ready, you know? You've talked to your journeyman. He told you where to be, and you're there early, and he comes pulling up, and you're like, hey, what's up, bro? And he's like, hey, dude, come on, get in. Now, don't be intimidated if the guy you're working with isn't just like super excited to be with you right away, okay? Because they don't know you. They got to ride around. You're you're a hitchhiker right now as far as they're concerned. They don't know anything about you. And here it is, like 5 a.m. And you guys just met and you got to get in the truck, but you don't know either. You don't know if he's like a serial killer or something like that. You know what I mean? So there's like this weird little moment of uneasiness, little uncomfortable silence, depending on how the guy is that's driving you. So don't be a one-word answer type of guy in the morning like that. If the guy feels like talking, your journeyman feels like talking, answer more than just one word. Okay, if he's like, so what do you like? You'd be like, I like baseball. And that's it. No, dude, you're establishing a relationship from Jump Street, and first impressions matter. Okay, so get in, seem upbeat, seem chipper. Don't seem like you're tired. Don't seem like you're just like kind of what do you want me to do? No, I've told you how to act already. Be attentive, be ready. How's it going, bud? How are you? How was your night? How was your morning? Blah, blah, blah. Make small talk. Get the ball rolling with this guy. Because he's got to like you. If it's super weird and uncomfortable, it's just weird, So do your best, dude. Just be cool. Just be attentive. Remember, I said that, if you're young, you need to be learning these things. Learn how to conversate with older gentlemen. Know that they are not going to be knowing about the latest trends and, funny memes and TikTok videos and some stuff like that. I will, only because I have 2 teenage kids, so I stay up on all that cool stuff, It's just comes with the territory, dude. I'm hip. Hip hop is what these kids like. Yeah. I don't hate it, but I roll with it. It's part of having kids. You gotta be involved in what they like too. So, anyways, this journeyman's not really gonna be knowing. Don't be trying to make no wisecracks about. You see that meme about whatever, dude, Kermit the Frog? I don't know. Nah. Just stick to stuff about yourself. Let them get to know you. What you like to do, what type of family you came from. I mean, this doesn't have to. This doesn't have to happen right away. You guys will have plenty of opportunities to talk like on the ride there. You're going to talk about refrigeration. You're going to talk about everything under the sun. It's nice to keep it refrigeration related till you journeyman out there. It's good. It's nice to keep it refrigeration related till you get a good idea what this kid's all about. And, you come up with a good assessment and what you think about him. And if you think he's even worth it, you're interviewing him too. I mean, all this is going on, unspoken. It's so weird, huh? But I'm pretty sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. It's just very uncomfortable when you meet someone. It's just weird. You're over there nervous as hell because you're an apprentice and you don't know what to expect. And this guy's kind of like, well, let's see what this kid's about. Hopefully he's better than the last guy that didn't make it. So whatever. So that's kind of the attitude that you might get. Don't be thrown off by that. Like I told you before, we're all excited about new guys. Okay. So don't be intimidated. Everyone has different personality traits. Okay. Some guys, you show up with me in the morning, I'll show up and I'm chipper, I'm off a couple cups of coffee and I'm ready to rock. And, you jump in, I'm going to start running my mouth. And if you're half asleep, dude, not wanting to hear that, too bad, dude. You have to. I'm driving. This is my service truck, so wake up, be attentive. You don't be showing up and, half-ass, it's part of everything. First impressions. So you're riding. Okay. Rule one. This is very important. Do not fall asleep. Okay. Do not fall asleep. Okay. You're going to be driving a long ways a lot of times. The average commute time, I would say, is roughly an hour, I say average because half above, half below, right? Some days you're working close. Some days you're working 2 hours away. Whatever the duty calls for, you got to be ready to rock. So you're going to have long rides, it'll be cold in the winter. In California, it doesn't get that cold, but we get like a wet cold, dude, that people don't understand that live somewhere else. And it stings, boy. All you guys out there in like 0-degree weather and stuff like that. I know what this sounds like. But it's all relative, dude. Cold to us is something different than what cold is to you guys. So please don't start bombarding me with like, you don't know what cold is, whatever. It's like, okay, I don't, dude. But I do go into minus 20, minus 30 degree, freezers on a regular basis. So I guess I do know what cold is, don't I? So save all that stuff, Yeah, so you're going to be driving, and the heater's going to be on, and you guys are just chilling on the freeway, or maybe there's traffic, and you're going to want to fall asleep. You're going to be fighting it. You're going to be nodding out, and believe me, if you're with me, I'm just going to be extra quiet. I'll turn down the radio. I'll turn up the heater a little bit. Maybe if I had a seat warmer, I'd turn that on too. I'm wanting you to fall asleep, guy, because guess what? You don't fall asleep. So if you did fall asleep, I would wake you up immediately and be like, hey, there's no sleeping. Okay? Because I'm working too and I'm driving. I'm not going to fall asleep while you're driving because I don't even know you. But you would never drive me anyways. I always drive. Yeah, it's like we're clocked in. A lot of companies pay travel time. So once you leave the shop in the truck or whatever, you're getting paid from that time, most of the times in service. You're on the clock. I'm on the clock. I have to drive. That's part of my job. And you're over there sleeping. There might be some people that don't mind that, but I have a very low tolerance for that as well. There is no sleeping. Bring a book, read a book, preferably, and you can sit there and you have 2 hours on the way to work and 2 hours on the way home from work to sit there and read your reader books, do the chapter test, study each question on the way home, and once you get home, if you didn't get enough. But that'll be great if you could do that. Like if you got a job that's like an hour away, you get an hour in the morning, hour in the back on the way home, and you don't got to study at home that night. Now your afternoon is free. You're doing it. All the checks have been checked. So yeah, dude, don't go to sleep. Maximize your time. Hear stories from your journeyman, or if you want to study, like if you're with me, I'd let you study, and I'll just turn on the radio, and just chill and not talk to you, just let you do your own thing. I would prefer that actually, because, the morning time especially is quiet time. Okay. I should mention this too. Don't be running your mouth in the morning. Don't be showing up all 3 Red Bulls deep, talking about, oh, yeah, blah, 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 yip, 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 like a little chihuahua. We don't want that either. It's weird. I tell you guys one thing, then I tell you another. You got to find the balance. Okay. So find yourself in the middle of whatever I'm trying to say. Yeah, dude. I mean, I use that time in the morning to kind of think out my day, plan out my job, because on the way there, I have stuff to do. I know what I'm doing that day, or if I'm troubleshooting something, I'm just, if I haven't been there before, then there's not much I could think about. But if I have been there before, I could start running scenarios in my brain while I'm driving there and think of like a plan of attack of what I'm going to do for whatever current situation calls, like if I get a service call for a high level or something, I'm thinking, oh, okay, I've been there before, dude. I know that they've had issues with, maybe like a leaking solenoid valve leaking by, while it's off, causing high levels. I know that's happened like once or twice. They were mentioning it to me. I'll bet you that's it. These are the type of things that are going through my head. And then not necessarily like that would even be the answer, dude. It could be like a level probe that's malfunctioning and the level's fine, but it's reading high level and it's causing a ruckus. I just like running scenarios in my head. That way, when I show up and something does happen, I'm never shocked, I guess, but I'm still shocked just about every single time, dude. So I don't even know if this is good advice. You waste all this time running scenarios in your dome, and you show up and it's nothing even what you thought about. It's something simple like a breaker turned off or something. Okay, so don't go to sleep. Okay. Stay awake, stay attentive, you maximize your time, multitask. If your journeyman has emails or forms to fill out or something, fill them out while you're driving. Yeah, it's a good habit. You can get a lot of stuff done with a co-pilot sitting in the passenger seat. Okay, so you guys are there. You guys pull up. You go to whatever facility you're going to. Now, in this industry, there is many different types of facilities. There are, I'm just going to start naming different places that I kind of generally go to, what type of industries I go to. I go to wineries. Okay, I go to cold storage warehouses. Okay, I go to food production facilities. Okay, I go to facilities that run blast freezers. That go like minus 30 to instantly freeze certain products, whatever they're producing. A lot of times, in this industry, people like in the food industry, especially, they'll make something, and cook it, and it's got to get frozen like right away, so it'll go through like a little cooling rack or something, and then it goes into like a spiral freezer where think of like a spiral, a vertical spiral, and it'll start like go in at the top or bottom, whatever, and it'll just go round, 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 and then by the time it comes out of this little carousel, it's frozen, typically in about like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, depending on the product, So that's just an example of things that you got to work on. You'll work on the valves for that and the fans for that. And some of the older spiral freezers have like dampeners that shut, and that way when it's going through defrost, it doesn't put heat in the spiral freezer and stuff like that. And those dampeners get locked up, or they don't want to open or close, so your temperatures get affected either way, So, places like that. There's places that cool glycol, to use in production, whatever they're producing, whether they're making ice cream or chocolate or anything, There's places we go to that, produce wine, and there's just wine chillers everywhere. These wine chillers are like a standalone refrigeration unit. It's got, its own liquid solenoid valve. It's got its own vessel. It's got their own chilling bundle coming through it. It's got a suction regulator valve. It's got defrost valves with hot gas and all this stuff, dude. It's just like a whole system all in one little chiller, and then they'll pump like wine in and chill it, to whatever temperature they want. And then it's like a shell and tube, But those are cool places because you're usually outside, a lot of times, it's like at a winery, these tanks are all over the place, whatever. I kind of like that kind of work because you're outside, and when you're working with ammonia, things get stinky sometimes, you try to minimize it, but it happens, and at wineries and stuff, you tend to be outside, and it's just, I don't know, it just kind of makes me more calm, that I'm not going to stink out a building with there's a bunch of people in it, at least it's going to go into the world and not be contained. That type of stuff doesn't happen to me anyways. Yeah, so there's those type of facilities, man. There's everything under the sun, man. It's just like places that produce like dairy products and stuff like that. They use it to cool down like milk, like for cheese and or milk itself, bottling it and whatever. And pretty much any type of food production has some kind of refrigeration that they're using in either the process or the storage or whatever, dude. Maybe they're just AC. They got AC in the office. I don't know. I work on that too, man. I'll be there working in a refrigeration room, and you service guys can probably relate. We don't, typically we'll be working on ammonia stuff, and they'll be like, hey, bro, my AC's not working in the office, man. Do you think you can take a look at it? And it's, you're in service, right? The customer's always right. You try to please the customer and all this good stuff, so you're like, yeah, I'll go check it out for you, guy, And it's usually something simple, but if it's not something simple, it's not like I'm going to, leak check his stuff and braze it up or nothing. I'm like, nah, dude, this is more than a capacitor or a fan motor. So call a guy, whatever guy you got, dude. I got other stuff to worry about, But, yeah. The different types of places, dude, it's limitless. That's one of the best parts of this job because the company I work for, we have many customers, right? Many. In the Central Valley of California, I don't have no statistics to give you guys or comparisons or anything. I just know that we produce a ton of the world's agriculture whether it be lettuce, whether it be almonds, whether it be, garlic, artichokes, asparagus, whatever, corn, this, that, and this, and then we have beef productions, and slaughterhouses that store meat. And, just like, there's 40 something million people that live in California, and they all got to get fed, and refrigeration is a big part of the logistics out here. You know what I mean? So what I was getting at is I haven't even been to all our customers, even right here in my small little area. It's just like we have customers through our company that I haven't even been to yet. There's so many places to work around here, and it's always just like whatever, I tend to stick to my few customers, so I don't venture out too much from that because the ones I have are pretty large and demanding, so I focus my time with them. But there's a lot of guys that are running around every single day somewhere new, and that's why I wanted to do this podcast, this episode, is because every single place is different. Okay. You got some places that are really lax. You roll up and they're like, what up? They'll be like, what up, Justin? How you doing, man? I'll be like, oh man, what's cracking? How's everything going? How's the wife? Yeah, we got cool, dude. All right, I go in, dude, whatever. Okay. That's cool. Some places you go to and maybe it's a medical facility or something. You know what I mean? And maybe there's really like armed guards there. And, I've been to government places, that, they're legit checking your truck with dogs and mirrors underneath, and all this stuff. Okay. Now I'm bringing this up is because you got to know how to act. Don't be going around there to these medical places or these pharmaceutical places or these government places that have, highly classified info that you're going to sign non-disclosure agreements for and all that. And I'm going to touch on that, right, in this episode. So, yeah, some places will be like that, high security. Some places will just be like, super tight security just because, they don't want no pathogens or allergens getting in to like a food production facility or something. Now, I'm not kicking out no info that's, privy to any site. Okay. I'm generalizing everything. Like, I'm not thinking about any customer site in specific. I'm just, out of all the places I go to, I'm kind of generalizing it as to this kind of what happens. Every place is going to be different, of course. Okay, I hope I can make that clear. Yeah, dude, so you're going to show up. And let's just say it's just like a regular food production place or something. They got like a freezer, where they store their product. They got like a dock where they probably keep it at a lesser or a warmer temp, but still cold, just for the transition from dock to freezer to help with those temps, and then also to keep the product cool when they pull it out of the freezer, So it's usually something like that. So you're going to show up, and the guards will be right there. So you pull up, and they're going to be like, hey, what's your name? You're telling me your name, blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, what company are you with? Okay. And then they'll be telling you, who's your contact? Well, do you know? You need to know, okay? Before you show up to a place, don't just show up and pull up to the guard shack because there's people behind you and they're trying to get into work and all this good stuff. Okay. And plus you're trying to be efficient, right? So before you get there, before you leave in the morning or whatever, find out, when you plug in your GPS, whatever the address is or whatever, find out who your contact is, find out what their number is. Okay. Cause you may need to call them right away and you don't want to be fumbling and bumbling right there at the guard shack, while people are honking their horns and, these truck drivers are coming in to get unloaded and all this stuff. It would just start the day off rough, dude. You know what I mean? So don't be that guy. And if they really get tired of you, they'll be like, hey, go ahead and pull over to the side, guy. We'll get to you in a minute. and then now you're waiting like 45 minutes for them to get to you because, you showed up, unprepared, I guess. Now, this ain't going to happen all the time, but I guess I'm speaking from experience because this has happened to me. And a lot of the stuff I'm talking about, I'm not going to, lie about whatever, dude. I've experienced a lot of these situations that I'm talking about. So yes, I am speaking from experience when I bring this up. Okay. So, yeah, I've been turned down. I've been kicked out. I've been not let in places before because, I'm showing up and they'll be like, who are you here to see? I'll be like, I don't know his name. I don't have his number or nothing. They'll be like, oh, well, what are you here to do? I'm like, well, I'm here to work on the refrigeration. And they're like, okay, because they don't know nothing about nothing really. The majority of the time, these security guards, they're not going to know. A lot of times they don't know who the person is you're even trying to talk to. So you show up and be like, I'm here to see Matt. They'll be like, who, Matt? Huh? Matt who? And you're going to be like, I don't know, Matt. Be like, man. So they'll call maintenance, and be like, all right, maintenance, we got this guy at the gate, whatever, dude. And it's just like, depending on who answers the phone when they call, dude, you might just be stuck out there for a while until you can figure it out. This happens, okay? So have a game plan. Make contact the night before if you can, text the guy, be like, hey, dude, I'm scheduled to be out there tomorrow, dude. Is anything... what time can I start? Oh, that's another thing too. Get in contact with your customer the day before. Your dispatcher should. I don't know what to imply as far as dispatchers and stuff. I can't wait to have a whole segment on dispatchers and how to treat them and what's expected of them and what shouldn't be expected of them. They are. Dispatchers, coordinators, I don't know what type of names other people call them. We use the term coordinator, like job coordinator. And what they're responsible for is like being your customer contact. Like when you're not there, they're going to email them. They're going to deal with the quotes. They're going to deal with whatever type of stuff that's on I don't even know how to say this. I'm not trying to expose any game here. If you have a PM contract with a company to where you have a contract to where you're going to work for them and inspect their refrigeration system on a regular interval, whether it be weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually, whatever, dude. Typically, you have some kind of contract set up with them to where you're there regularly. I'm sorry, my phone went off. I got distracted. Okay, so you are going to contact a customer and be like, hey, dude, we're on our way tomorrow. We are scheduled to be there. My coordinator set it up with you, whatever. Or you may not need to. And your coordinator can send you an email and be like, dude, I got it all hooked up. You're gold. You show up at 6 a.m. I spoke with him. He said, show up at 6. Be here. Here's the address. Here's what you're doing. If you need parts, here's the parts. They're here, or they're there, or we shipped them to a job site, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's typically how it goes, with the coordinator and tech interaction, on just like the most basic level, it gets really in depth, you really have to establish a good relationship with your coordinator, okay, because she can make your life really easy or really hard, okay, and it's really going to depend on you and your attitude and your amount of work that you make for them that's extra. Okay, don't make no extra work for these. Typically, they're females in the office, being dispatchers and coordinators and stuff like that. Just from my experience, there might be a bunch of men out there doing it, If there are, I'm sure they're awesome, But it's hard to beat a good woman as a coordinator, okay? Especially one that's got skills like mine does, okay? Just pleasurable for the customers, pleasurable to work with, great attitude, on top of it, owns mistakes because they make mistakes just like I do, right? We all make mistakes. Okay. This is going to have to be a whole episode. Okay, I'm going to stop talking about the coordinator aspect now because I need to do a whole episode on the relationship that you need to have with the coordinator and how you should treat a coordinator and stuff like that. Because like I said in the first episode, maybe your dad wasn't around or something and you don't know how to treat a woman or a lady, excuse me. Yeah, that needs to be taught as well. I'm going to go off on a whole episode of that. Do you believe that? Because this is very important service, dude, is, when Manland meets the office, when the worlds merge. Okay, this is where conflict happens, dude, because you got merging waters, dude. You got the professional business atmosphere of an office, and then you have a technician, who's out in the field, and we're showing up to the office all oily and dirty sometimes, or just whatever, or maybe we're frustrated with the situation or whatever, and you tend to be frustrated a lot of times in service because things all have to jive. Your coordinator has to jive, the customer has to jive, the parts have to jive, the ability for them to have a window in production have to jive. I'll just get this job done. It's very delicate sometimes. The symphony that needs to play in order to get a job done, man. And what do they call the guy that does that holds that stick, dude, in the orchestra? The maestro? Maestro? I don't know. God, it's on the tip of my tongue, dude. I really do know. I'm not that dumb. Whatever. Yeah, it's all delicate. Your job could get scrapped at any time. And it's your job as a service technician to try your best not to let your job get scrapped. You got to put up a fight. You can't just be like, oh, man, no, okay, I'm going home. Nah, you'd be like, listen, guys, this is okay for me to do, this and that. You put them at ease and then you get your job done. Because if you let the customer call the shots on all these jobs and stuff, you'll get a lot turned down. Then now you're backed up and you're not getting nothing done. So, it's way too advanced for this beginning episode to even talk about this type of stuff. I'm sorry. Here I go, going off again. I need to work on not doing that so much. Okay, so your coordinator has sent you to the job. You contacted or someone talked to the customer the day before. Okay, you're there. Boom. You didn't fall asleep. You're ready. You get out. You adjust your shirt because you're making sure that your shirt's tucked in because you listened to my first episode and you're not going to let me down. Hey, you're not going to let me down, stud. Okay, so you got that fresh, clean shirt, all tucked in. You're ready, dude. Okay, looking all brand new with your brand new boots. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah. So you show up, and then you park. And you gotta. I'm breaking this down, dude, just because I run into problems with all this. Okay, so this is every issue that I bring up. I'm sorry if it's annoying and boring. But, it's just things that I would like to bring attention to that I deal with on the daily, dude. And one of them, a big one, okay, is parking, folks. Okay, when you go to a facility and you don't just get to park wherever. Or if, there's an engine room that you're going to park by, you don't get to just park by the engine room sometimes, because there's a lot of forklift traffic. There could be trucking traffic. There could be this, that, and this. You may need to park in a special area that's 100 yards away, so be prepared for that, and adjust your show up time accordingly because you still have the same hours, okay, no matter how far away you got to park. Okay, so show up early that day, so you could get your job done. Yeah, dude, so you got to know where to park because you'll park somewhere, and I do this all the time. And it's always yeah, it's always when you're in the middle of something important, like you finally opened up like a recip compressor after you pumped it down and maybe it's stinking. You're not really sure if it's holding or not because it stinks so bad sometimes. And then some security guard will come in here and be like, hey, you got to move your car. Or your car. You got to move your service truck right now. We got important stuff that's way more important than you as far as they're concerned. And move your truck, guy. And you're going to be like, oh, okay, I'll be there in a minute. Nah. We need it right now. Okay, so now guess what you got to do? You got to control your situation that you're not even sure you could control yet. With this compressor that stinks, are you really sure that's really leaking by? Because it sure is stinking bad, dude. You're like, wow, and now you got to go move your truck. And now you're at a critical situation. So maybe you do go move your truck. And it's not leaking by, but it's just reeking, right? And you didn't open up the door. And now the ammonia sensors went off because you didn't put them in test. Now the system shut down. Now production stopped. Now everyone's evacuating because they think there's an ammonia leak. And you got 150 plant workers that are not working right now. And maybe you spoiled the product that it was cooling. So now 150 workers have to go home and work a short shift and all this stuff. All because you parked in the wrong spot. Can it happen? You betcha, buddy. Has it happened? You betcha. Okay? So park in the designated spots. This is huge and very basic. It can be avoided, folks. Okay? So know where your contractor parking is. Okay, you are a contractor. If you don't know, that's you, kiddo. You are a contractor to the facility. Okay, so you parked. Okay, you get out. You know, I'm assuming it's your journeyman's first day here too. Okay, you guys park, get out. You're like, okay, where's our guy, dude? We're meeting Joe. The guy's name is Joe. We'll call him. Okay, call Joe. So Joe will come out. You call Joe. Joe comes out. He's like, what's up, guys? Dude, I appreciate you guys showing up so early like this and on time, and looking presentable. And, contacting me yesterday and letting me know you're coming, blah, 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 blah. He probably won't mention all that, but he's appreciative, So he'll be like, okay, guys, you ever been here before? And that's a common question, okay? And justifiably so, because don't lie about this either, okay? Don't be like, yeah, I've been here, okay? Because I'll tell you why. You need to cover your ass, okay? There we go again. Okay, I'm not going to use language like that. You need to cover your butt. Okay, if you told this guy, yeah, I've been here before, I don't need to sit through your training or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then you go on to keep working and something happens and whatever. Yeah, like I said, I live in California. People sue around here. And I get sued, so, and, things happen. If you it's not only you that's at risk. When you go to places, I go to some places that have 500 employees. Okay, working at one time. Okay, and I got 30,000 pound plus of ammonia just just circulating all around them. Their life's in danger too. And this is going to get into the safety episode, but realize the gravity of what we do. Okay, working with ammonia, you're always around people. Okay, and their lives are at risk because of your actions. Okay, good and bad. Excuse me. Think about that too. Okay. So you get there, and Joe brings you in. I got a buddy, Joe, that is actually a contact of mine at a customer that I go to frequently. So, and I did tell him about this podcast. So, Joe, if you're listening, what's up, player? I'm not talking about you. Okay, here we go. So Joe's going to bring you in, and he's be like, okay, dude, you guys need to do the contractor training for our facility. Okay, you must be prepared to do this wherever you go, especially for the first time. This is very, very important, probably for your company and for the facility, okay? And for reasons that, I don't know. If you really want to know what the reasons are, figure it out. It's for lawsuits, dude. Yeah, so he's gonna some are quick, some are just like a paper that you kind of read the regular GMP rules, which is good manufacturing practices if they're like a production facility or something, and what that entails, like wear your a hairnet, wear a beard net, but the beard net applies to like goatees and stuff because we keep a clean shaven face, right, guys? Yeah. So, yeah, wear the hairnet, and it'll tell you wear safety glasses and all the stuff that your company probably already required you to already have, like PPE, like reflective vests, hard hat, safety glasses, earplugs, safety toe shoes. Depending on what you're doing, what type of uniforms you get. Some are arc flash protectant, some aren't. Some are cold weather gear, some aren't. So make sure that whatever you're reading that morning, you pay attention to. Okay, and this all matters. I'm going to tell you this why right now. If you're in there and they're explaining to you the rules of their facility and you're just over there messing around and you're on your phone because you think you have time because you're in this hour-long presentation of a PowerPoint that everybody sees, and it becomes redundant that you think you've seen all over the place, it's like, no, you need to pay attention because each customer, facility, whatever has their own specific rules on how they do things, okay? And the rules they want you to go through in order to do the things that you want to do. How you do things at one place won't be how you do things at another place just because of their on-site rules, okay? And if you break those rules, guess what, guy? You're out of here. Hey, you know what? Didn't you read or weren't you paying attention during the training of the on-site rules and stuff? And you'll be like, yeah, I was. They'll be like, well, why didn't you follow the rules? We're going to have to ask you to leave. And now you got to call your boss and be like, they told me to leave. And your boss will be like, what the hell did they tell you to leave for? You're brand new, guy. You shouldn't even be new nothing that makes you be able to get told this. And he'll be irritated, believe me. And, you're going to have to tell him, be like, dude, I broke a rule. And he'll be like, what? It's going to be a basic rule if you get kicked out this early. To just be like, whoa. It's a bad way to start your little career is getting kicked out of places. Which, people get kicked out of places in this industry pretty frequently, And as long as you cover your side of it, keep your side of the street clean, your company shouldn't be too upset about the situation, as long as you're doing what you're doing. Your company will stand up for you, hopefully. It may not sound like it when they talk to the customer. They'll make like, oh, man, this guy, I'm going to let him hear it. But we have to make the customer happy, and we have to let them know and make them feel comfortable that we're taking appropriate action to correct any type of issue that we have with any of our employees, So it's a big deal when customers get mad at you, dude, and don't like you because they'll straight up pull their journeyman aside and be like, hey, don't bring this guy back here. And guess what? That's going to stick, And now you're waiting to go back there until you give that guy a chance to prove that you're someone else, and not this guy that don't follow rules. So, follow the rules, dude. There's going to be so many different types. I'm not going to get into it too much. I'm going to have guests on here that are wizards in compliance, that are going to break down like, regulations and stuff like that. I know too, I have compliance books and stuff like that. I got them right here. I'm not really trying to read from a book. When I get technical, I'm not going to be flipping through pages. I'm going to do my work before, and then what you're going to get is my summary of the information as I see it, and then hopefully I could have some good experts on here that'll just, kick out facts, dude, and I'll just be able to roll along with it. But, I do this on the monthly basis anyways. A lot of places I go to, there's like monthly compliance meetings that I sit with compliance people and stuff like that. And we go over what's going on, what type of PMs we're doing, making sure IIAR paperwork and practices are being followed and the RMP stuff and the all that stuff, everything. Like I said, compliance is a whole industry in itself. I am not going to try to summarize it in even one episode or 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a segment, you know. So stay tuned for that. Yeah. So where am I, dude? Where are we? We are signed in. We paid attention. We followed the rules. We signed our name, a binding document saying that you understand these rules. You guys must understand this. See, when you sign something, these are all binding documents. Okay. You go to court, anything happens, whatever. I don't know. You know, I'm taking this to the most extreme level. Just know what you're signing, okay? And know what you're signing, okay? Read what you're signing. Know what you're signing. I've never experienced anything bad this way. A lot of it's just signing that you understand what they're teaching you in order to work there. But just read it, you know? Don't sign nothing without reading. Yeah, so you've done that. And now it's time for him to be like, okay, you guys are all set up, you signed, you did this, maybe you watched a video, maybe it was at a gas manufacturer facility and it was 4 hours long, or maybe it was 8 hours long. You know what I mean? Maybe it's at a government place and it takes that long to go through the rules it takes to get you to work there for the first time. Be ready for that, you know, and your company will know too. They'll be like, hey, dude, you got to go there. This is an 8 hour thing. It sucks, but whatever. You only got to do it once or annually. So you got through that. Okay. So he cut you loose, be like, hey, dude, I got to go, you know? So you and your journeyman are going to go out to your truck and, you know, get whatever hand tools that you might need. Now, I don't think I've covered this yet, and now's the time. When you work with the journeyman, typically he's going to have all the tools that you need. He's going to have hoses, he's going to have wrenches, he's going to have everything to do the big jobs. So you typically won't have to bring much, you know, but this is what you do need to bring, sir. Okay? And this is important because you don't be showing up empty-handed. The basic hand tools I'm going to explain, you need to have with you every single day. Okay? So after you sign in, you do the GMPs and you do all this on-site facility, all this stuff. You signed all the contracts. You're ready to rock, brother. You guys are there. You're grabbing your tools. Now, you've brought a little bag with you other than your lunch that has like some basic hand tools. Okay? And I'm going to list these. Okay? It's like, number 1, a 9-inch crescent wrench. Okay? Adjustable wrench. I don't know what names you guys want to call it. An adjustable wrench. You're going to want a pair of adjustable channel locks. Okay? Just a regular size, you know. I think like 9 inches, 12 inches. I don't know. Probably 9 inches. You know, you want to have that. Okay? You're going to want to have a service wrench. Okay, now this is very important. There's different sizes of service wrenches and all this stuff, and I know you just started out. You're not really, you know, making the big bucks yet, you know. So, you know, they're like $13 on Amazon. Buy 2 when you start. I don't care how crappy they are at first. You'll find out what's good, what's not, or what type you want. If you want like an offset one, or if you want like a little switch lever for forward and reverse, or a little push button one, or whatever. There's a bunch of different types. So you need a service wrench, you know, the smaller one, you know, with the 4 different sizes. And then the next one up, that's like, I think, 3/4. I don't have one on me. You need to have one of those as well. You know, a big one and a small one. And guess what? You need to have backups for each. Okay, because the service wrench is something that if that goes out, you are you're gonna have a really hard time, dude. Anyone that knows this is probably laughing right now. If you have to shut a service valve with your little crescent wrench or something, it's such a pain in the butt. Yeah. Yeah, and if it's an emergency, yeah, good luck doing that quick. Crescent wrench, channel locks, two different sizes of service wrench. You only need to carry one with you. You'll know what you're doing. The smaller size usually fits everything. A flathead screwdriver and a Phillips head screwdriver. Okay. Now those are some basic hand tools right there. And a small pipe wrench. Okay, or a Ford wrench, an automotive wrench. I've heard them called Ford wrenches. I don't know if people are laughing at me right now because I heard that they used to use them on the Model T Fords. You know, they're like the adjustable wrenches that look like a pipe wrench, but they're smooth. Yeah, automotive wrench, Ford wrench. Someone go ahead and email me. And clown me and tell me the right name. I guess this will be funny. I'll shout you out, dude. Whoever makes me laugh the funniest over that one. Yeah. So, dang it, I lost my spot. Sorry, I had to adjust something for the computer. I was getting like feedback or something. So I paused it and kept going. I don't really edit these too much. I'm kind of live with everything, but I record onto like recording software, so it's not live, but I don't edit it too much. So I was talking about what tools to bring. Yeah, so your service wrenches, your crescent wrench, a little circuit tester, a little pocket one, so you can tell if like coils have power or not onto them and stuff, help you kind of just know what's up. That's good to have. A pen, 2 pens, a blue and black, okay? All times. Keep them in your pocket. Always have a pen. Always have a pen. Always have a pen. Okay. A Sharpie. Keep a Sharpie with you. Okay. I keep a little satchel. Okay. I look like a dork, dude. I got this little satchel thing that clips on. It's by Tough Belt. What's up, Tough Belt? I'll do a tool review for you guys. Yeah, I've been using this thing for like 5 years. Okay. And, I keep all my stuff. It's like in this little side satchel, and I'm able to just clip it on, clip it off real quick, and I keep it all in there. And I keep a little Teflon tape for me so I can tape up gauges and plugs or whatever I'm doing. I'm all quick with it right here at the side. Quick draw McGraw. Bam. I got you. Oh, we got a little leaky valve. Bam, dude, I got my service wrench out that quick. Taking the gauge off. You got a leaky gauge. Okay, boom. I got my Teflon tape right there with me. Boom, 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 boom. Put that on. Put it back on. Open it back up. Leak fixed. That quick. 1 minute. I'm like those ropers, dude, at the rodeo. Like George Strait, boy. Yeah, so you want to have those basic hand tools, okay? Your journeyman will have everything that you need to do the job that you need to do. I just pushed something. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm messing up. Okay. Yeah, so those are the tools, and now you're going to be ready to work, and you're going to start putting on your PPE. I could do a whole episode on PPE, which I will. You're going to put on your hard hat. You're going to put on your safety glasses. Okay? You're going to have your earplugs with you. I like to tie them onto the back knob of my hard hat so they don't fall off and lose them, because I lose them all the time. And then your safety glasses, dude. It's a good idea to put one of those weird little straps on them that they hang around your neck, because you'll lose safety glasses. You'll find little shelves everywhere to set stuff on, whether it be earplugs, safety glasses, service wrenches, or nothing. This is a very helpful tip. Okay, this goes right up with the $1 million a game that I'm throwing at you guys. The $1,001 worth of game now. Keep everything that you set down. Okay, this is a very helpful tip, and will save you hours and dollars, because you won't have to buy tools. When you set something down, keep it at like shoulder height or below. Do not set nothing above, like where you're reaching up. Got to set it, and you can't see it just by like where you're at. Like, it's easy to do. I don't even. And you guys might be thinking about me like, why is this guy talking about that? It's because it happens, dude. Okay, it happens all the time. I lose tools, but I find them because I know to look up top. But try to get in the habit of not like reaching up to set something down, because you'll lose it, and then especially being an apprentice, your journeyman's not going to be like, I ain't going back for no screwdriver guy, chalk it up as a loss, have your own little more, you just have your own little moment about your lost screwdriver. Don't lose your tools, dude. It gets expensive. You're bouncing around, you're at a different place every day, and you could leave tools all over the place. The next thing you know, you're having to buy all your tools over again. It sucks. And then you'll go back to a place and find it, or the guy will be like, hey, dude, why don't you guys leave that here? And you'll be like, oh, my screwdriver. I love this one, dude. I'm like that too. I've been reunited with tools like a year and a half later, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's like a dog that passed away that came back, dude. You're like, Fido, yes, you're back. I get attached to tools, especially ones in my handy dandy little sidekick pouch. Dude, I touch them every day, dude. They're a part of me. I'm naked without them. Believe that, dude. If I'm without my service wrench, my crescent wrench, and my channel locks in my pockets or my thing at the minimum, I can't work. I don't even know what to do with myself, dude. I'll be using my hand wrenches, and what I mean by that is my literal hands. And so keep your tools with you, dude. Be ready to rock. Situations come up. And I'll get into that more. But situations come up. You got to be ready to act. Be ready, And that's what we're doing. We're training to get you ready. Like Jean-Claude Van Damme out in the forest of Thailand kicking bamboo trees, dude. Training for the Kumatai, dude. Hiya! We're building you up, dude, to be able to get you to react very quickly, you got to be ready, because ammonia is like a rattlesnake. Okay. Not to scare anyone, but it's like when you least expect it, in something super routine, it's going to be sitting right there with this little rattle, dude. And then you're not paying attention. It's waiting for you, dude, just to kind of be complacent or be flipping on TikTok while you're doing something like apprentices like to do. And then, bam, it bites you. Okay. Happens all the time. Okay. The severity of it will depend on you, but it could be lethal, gentlemen and ladies. Okay. This is life or death when you deal with ammonia. Okay. So, I know I kind of joke around. I'm lighthearted and stuff. It's only because it's my coping mechanism for dealing with, high stress work, but I do like to keep it light, so, so you don't get overwhelmed by the gravity of the situation sometimes. But sometimes, all kidding aside, there's no room for kidding when it comes to ammonia. It's very serious stuff. I joke around and stuff, but know that if you work with me and you haven't worked with me and you work for a company that I work for, a customer or whatever, know that I'm messing around on here a lot, trying to make the situation light. But you got to know that I flip that switch when it's time to get down, dude. I'm like a Navy SEAL, dude, when it comes to this stuff. Okay. Okay. No disrespect to any Navy SEALs or anyone in service, dude. I respect you guys completely. Okay. I'm not trying to compare myself to you. Okay. 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 You're ready to work. You got tools. You got your hard hat, PPE, earplugs, all that stuff. Now what you're going to do, you're going to have your handy dandy notebook. Okay. And you're going to walk around and your journeyman's going to give you a tour of the facility. Okay. And you're going to walk around and there's keys to get into places. Okay. If your journeyman's a stud and he's got like a key card to this place because he goes there all the time, whatever, boom, you guys got full access. But a lot of times they won't give you that until you establish a presence there and they know that they're not going to be losing key cards, So a lot of times, and then we're acting like this is your first day here. So a lot of it will be a key. Okay, maybe you need the key somewhere. Well, that key is going to be in a lockbox. Okay, maybe. Okay, so you're going to remember, like for after hours or whatever. Next time you come, blah blah. Whatever. There's a combination, typically. And you want to save that combination on your handy dandy notebook underneath the heading of whatever place that you're at. Okay, start a little file on every customer that you go to. Okay, with contacts, with combinations, with helpful tips to remember stuff. Who's the after hours contact, and then when you're on site meeting people, meet them. Become friends with on-site customer when you have opportunity. Like a lot of times you'll take your break in the break room, shoot up some conversation, or be open to a relationship with someone there, a work relationship, folks, and be get their number. That way, if something happens, or you get a service call and it's late at night, or if it's a Saturday or something like that, and you could call your boy, dude. Hey, dude, forklift guy that I met in the break room that one day. What up, dude? I'm here. I need to get in. Can you hook me up, dude? Whatever. And the guy will be like, oh, dude, I got you. I'll hook you up. And that could be the difference from being stuck outside the facility on a Saturday night, on a service call, or being able to get in, So be resourceful. Okay. Make friends, be friendly. You're in service, be a friendly guy, be approachable. Okay. Don't be walking around with a big old mug on your face, looking all mean. People need to be able to approach you, and especially workers, and I'll get into this too, but this is big. Some workers at a facility, they feel like you're someone that they could talk to if they notice something safe. Okay. So be approachable, because these people might want to report a safety issue to you, as far as them smelling ammonia, or them whatever unsafe practices, or they're scared about their equipment they're working with, blah blah blah. This has happened many times too. They come to you, and they want you to reassure them that they're safe, or they want you to let them know, like, hey, is this safe, or how is this place? Now, it's not your job to let them or to down talk the customer or nothing. But I mean, if you really feel like someone's safe, you just kind of give them that look and be like, yeah, dude, there's a lot of places to work besides here, But if it is safe, and if the equipment's just old or whatever, I'm very truthful with the workers there. I'll be like, listen, dude, this place is completely safe. Okay, the equipment's old, but we're here and we're working on it. And any type of issues that you're worried about, please come to me. I tell my customers that, or people I go to, even if there's a language barrier. I don't speak Spanish. I live in California, and I don't know if it's the majority of our population, but it could be at least half, right? Is Hispanic, and I don't speak Spanish, and these guys, a lot of these workers at facilities do speak Spanish, and they want to be able to communicate with you with the stuff I'm talking about, and they'll kind of talk to you and be like, you'll have to do those unspoken conversations and stuff, to where you're kind of assuring them, like, hey, dude, it's all good, I'm here, the service guy's here, if you guys are scared. Which everyone's scared of ammonia, and they're rightfully so, because it'll kill you. So when you show up, a lot of times you're a hero, dude. Sometimes you're a zero, like if you really mess up, but most of the time you're in a position of, they like seeing you. They like seeing you there, because it means that their company's taking care of the equipment. Okay, so yeah, I think this is good enough. Okay, we're ready to work. We walked around, we familiarized ourselves with the system, and that could be a whole episode in itself. And I think I'll talk about that next, is familiarizing yourself with whatever system we're working on. We'll go through each generalized piece of equipment, I guess, through the refrigeration cycle. We'll keep it basic. But, yeah, here you guys go, man. I did another one. I don't even know how long this has been, dude. This is nuts. Hopefully it's not too long. But, yeah, this is another episode. It's Sunday. I told you guys I'm trying to kick them out on Sunday for Monday, So this is me staying true to the crew. You know what I mean? Keeping my word to you guys, dude. I'm really about this. And if I'm a little off on the scheduling or releasing and stuff, you guys need to realize that. And I have explained it, and it's not like I think you guys are dumb, because you guys are smart if you're listening to me, dude, right? Probably the smartest guys on the planet. Yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah. So this has been another episode of NH3 Tech Talk. Look for us on all social media platforms and stuff. Like and share. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm struggling to try to get it out there, but those who have reached out to me, oh, dude, this is so cool. I've had people from all over the world, dude, talk to me, from you guys up there in Canada. I see you up there. And you guys out there in Australia, there's like I can see all the metrics of who downloads and stuff. So there's like 30 downloads in Australia, and I'm like, yeah, dude, what's up to you guys down there, dude? Shout out, dude. I don't have my phone open to that, so I can't call your first name out or anything, but I will. I'll do that soon. My Aussie brothers. And then a bunch of guys up in Canada, dude, our neighbors, dude. How you guys doing? Ireland, Germany, shout out, Egypt, Netherlands. This is really taking off, folks. Yeah, I've got quite a bit of downloads and stuff already. So we're going to get the ball rolling. So please share it and get your buddies to listen, get everyone listening. I want to get this thing rolling, dude. The more it keeps rolling, the more incentive I'll have to do it. I mean, I got to be engaged too, right? Cool. Yeah, so try to spread the word if you like it. You know, you like what I'm doing. You like hearing me. You can reach me at NH3 Tech Talk at gmail.com. I'm on Facebook under NH3 Tech Talk. I'm on LinkedIn under Justin Little. You could hit me up personally. And I've been replying, dude. There's an apprentice down in San Antonio. Mark, I think his name is. Hit me up after he heard the first episode. Was like, dude, I really like what you're doing, and I would like to give my perspective as someone new into ammonia because he's only been in it for like 3 months. And I'm like, that's right, dude. That's what's up, dude. I go, this is what I'm trying to accomplish here, dude. I want a community. I want people to reach out to me. You know, I want to be able to be like Mark if ever it needs a job, bro. Just by him reaching out to me, I think he's a young stud already, dude. This guy's on his way. You know, just by wanting to get involved. You know, I don't know what his background is. He said he did, some Freon stuff for like a year and a half, and he's been in ammonia for a couple months. You know, I don't care what he knows, dude. The guy's a stud, dude, for reaching out. Okay, shout out to you, brother. I hope you're out there grinding right now. You know, to get it. But this is the type of stuff I'm talking about, folks, dude. This is our podcast. Okay, be active. Reach out to me. You know, I'm still trying to figure out how to set up like a group on Facebook or something to where everyone could just post and talk shit. And like talk about the episode or talk about, you know, different ways to do things or post pictures of they could post pictures of equipment and, you know, or processes or whatever, or I don't know what it could turn into, but we could all kind of sit there and talk and learn together. That way it's not me just up here running my mouth with no type of supplemental support from anyone else. You know, if you're a seasoned journeyman, you know, this is education I'm trying to push here. Please jump on board, man. Reach out to me. Tell me what some good topics will be once we get going, you know. I'm keeping it basic with the apprentices at first, and just like we're starting our journey, you know. So now that we're all ready, the next episode will probably be doing like a PM inspection that we showed up to do and talked about today, you know. So if you're interested in that, on how I do it and things I look for on equipment, and you know how to fill up a 8-hour day with a preventive maintenance inspection, okay. It's very easy to do. You know, multiple days sometimes. We go to some facilities that are just huge. Yeah, dude. So if you're interested, that's what the next episode is going to be about. All right, little teaser for you. Little teaser. Anyways, dude, the feedback and support's been amazing, dude. It sounds like you guys are really behind what I'm trying to do and really excited, is just like I am, man, because this is our industry, and now we have a platform and a voice for our industry. You know, how exciting. Okay, cool. All right, guys. That was me once again running my mouth. Thanks for listening. Please like and share. Listen, follow, download, whatever. I'm not in this for the recognition or anything like that, but it sure is satisfying when you see the reactions and stuff like that and the feedback. That part is becoming addicting already. Cool, dude. Thank you, guys. I'll see you soon. I don't know what to say to sign off. This was it. Thank you so much. Everything's appreciated. Thank you. Goodbye.